Genetics is the study of genes and how they influence the development, behavior, and health of organisms. Genes are the basic units of heredity, and they are made up of DNA. DNA is a long, double-stranded molecule that contains the instructions for building proteins. Proteins are the building blocks of cells, and they play a role in almost every process in the body. Genetics is a vast and complex field, but some of the key concepts include genes. Genes are the basic units of heredity. They are made up of DNA, and they contain the instructions for building proteins. Chromosomes. Chromosomes are structures that contain genes. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, for a total of 46 chromosomes. DNA. DNA is a long, double-stranded molecule that contains the instructions for building proteins. DNA is the genetic material of all living organisms. Gene expression. Gene expression is the process by which genes are turned into proteins. Genetic variation. Genetic variation is the difference in DNA sequences between individuals. Genetic variation is the raw material for evolution. Genetic disorders. Genetic disorders are caused by changes in DNA. Genetic disorders can be inherited or acquired. Genetics is a rapidly growing field, and new discoveries are being made all the time. Genetics is having a major impact on our understanding of human health and disease, and it is also being used to develop new treatments for diseases. Here are some of the ways that genetics is being used to improve human health. Identifying the genes that are involved in disease. By identifying the genes that are involved in disease, scientists can develop new diagnostic tests and treatments for diseases. Developing new drugs. By understanding how genes work, scientists can develop new drugs that target specific genes. Preventing disease. By understanding the genetic factors that contribute to disease, scientists can develop strategies to prevent disease. Personalized medicine. Personalized medicine is the use of genetic information to tailor medical treatment to the individual patient. Genetics is a powerful tool that can be used to improve human health. As we learn more about genetics, we will be able to use this knowledge to develop even more effective ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. Evolution is the change in heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. These characteristics are the expressions of genes, which are passed on from parent to offspring during reproduction. Genetic variation tends to exist within any given population as a result of genetic mutation and recombination. Evolution occurs when evolutionary processes such as natural selection, including sexual selection, and genetic drift act on this variation, resulting in certain characteristics becoming more or less common within a population over successive generations. The theory of evolution is one of the most important and well-supported theories in science. It has been repeatedly tested and confirmed by a wide range of evidence, including fossils, DNA, and comparative anatomy. The theory of evolution is also supported by the fact that all living organisms on Earth share a common ancestor. There are many different mechanisms that can drive evolution. Natural selection is the most important mechanism of evolution. Natural selection occurs when individuals with certain heritable traits are more likely to survive and reproduce than individuals with other traits. This is because the environment selects for certain traits that give individuals an advantage in surviving and reproducing. Other mechanisms of evolution include genetic drift, mutation, and gene flow. Genetic drift is the random change in allele frequencies in a population. Mutation is the change in DNA sequence. Gene flow is the movement of genes between populations. Evolution is a gradual process, but it can also be rapid. The rate of evolution depends on the strength of the selective pressure and the amount of genetic variation in the population. Evolution has played a major role in the history of life on Earth. It has led to the diversification of life into the millions of species that we see today. Evolution has also shaped the characteristics of humans, including our intelligence, our ability to walk upright, and our large brains. The theory of evolution is a powerful tool that can be used to understand the natural world. It can also be used to make predictions about the future of life on Earth. As we learn more about evolution, we will be able to use this knowledge to improve our understanding of ourselves and our place in the natural world. Here are some of the evidences for evolution. Fossil record. The fossil record provides evidence of the gradual change in organisms over time. Fossils show how different species have evolved from common ancestors. DNA. DNA is the genetic material of all living organisms. DNA sequences can be used to compare the relatedness of different species. Comparative anatomy. Comparative anatomy is the study of the similarities and differences in the anatomy of different species. Comparative anatomy can be used to identify shared ancestry between species. Biogeography. Biogeography is the study of the distribution of organisms on Earth. Biogeography can be used to identify the patterns of evolution that have led to the distribution of organisms on Earth. The theory of evolution is a powerful and well-supported theory in science. It has helped us to understand the natural world and our place in it. As we learn more about evolution, we will be able to use this knowledge to improve our understanding of ourselves and our future.